Morning, timestamp, July 21st, 2025, which is Monday. It's about 7:20 a.m. Currently having a panic attack just for fun. Otherwise, I feel okay, but I've been up a few minutes. Went to bed early for me, like about 10 o'clock p.m. So, definitely got like 8-10 hours sleep, which is good. I feel better. I've been mostly working in the living room yesterday, trying to get that under control. Tiny was running around doing a lot of basic maintenance stuff. Litter boxes, sweeping, Pardon. I've been up long enough to make a pot of coffee, which I have not sipped yet, letting it cool just that moment. So today, septic hopefully will be coming to finish. We've been using the water lightly, not aggressively. We haven't done any laundry. Didn't have a burning need to do laundry, but it's gonna stack up here quick. I did a load of dishes in the dishwasher. I need to empty that and prep the next batch. I'm not gonna run the next batch though, just in case they are gonna be working on it. I don't want to necessarily set in motion a 3-hour. The dishwasher takes a really long time. I don't know if that's normal or not. It's been a while since we had one. So I don't even know if that's like, do dishwashers normally take 3 hours, 4 hours to run? I don't know. But I don't necessarily want to flood them. I mean, there's the funny aspect of it, considering the May and calamity they've caused us, but that'd be nice. Hopefully the cable guy will come. We have fiber optics, so I explained to Tiny last night, because, good cable guys coming out. It's like, we have fiber optic, so they may have to rerun the entire line, because it's not quite the same as copper. We can't just splice. More complicated than that, usually. It's better, but there is a drawback to it. Once you get one little crack, one little break, you pretty much got to rerun the entire line, as far as my understanding. So, just because they're coming out today, which is what I explained, doesn't mean that we're going to be back online 20 minutes later. That sounds great. I don't know if it's going to happen. So we may still be out for another day or 2 or 6. I don't even know. So there may be some confrontations today. I don't know. Because I did leave that message with the septic company. I didn't expect a call back over the weekend because, of course not. But I'm very displeased with that part of it, the severing of the internet. The Harry and David vanilla cream brulee. Try and calm myself. Hopefully Pix and Alex are coming over today. There's a lot of hopefullys for today. She's got a lot of stuff to do here. Pix, that is, and I just want to see my girl, you know. I hate the long distance thing. I was actually the biggest drawback to when I was running the shop, because I love what I did. It was stressful because, you know, everything was up to me, you know, to make sure that everything was taken care of. For some reason that was okay. I was okay with that part of it. The part that bugged me the most was the fact that I was frequently staying down there because it was 50 miles away. It was, you know, I'd spend 3-4 hours in the car every day if I went there or came back. So I frequently would stay down there 3-4 days at a time in Bradenton. You know, I'd only be home like twice a week. That was rough. That was rough. And there wasn't anything wrong. It wasn't, you know, me sleeping on the couch because I'd messed up. It was, I was trying to get a business off the ground, and the only practical way to do it was to not be at home. But it was rough on us. And I know my girl felt like she was being abandoned on occasion, and that wasn't the case. And I was trying to build something for us, not to escape us. Gave me a greater appreciation for people that are in a relationship that are forced to not be able to, like, be in the same town or whatnot. Kind of got to experience the stress of that. Yeah. So no idea how today's going to play out. No idea at all. Should be very exciting. But in not having the internet, not being able to focus on certain aspects of what I do, I've been doubling down on the things that don't require it. And it has been, the internet has been a distraction, as it is, I guess, in most people's lives. So, you know, that's helped my focus on the project in the living room. I still resent it, but yeah, I just woke up. Strange New Worlds going on in the background. Nice. Now I rewatched yesterday, rewatched the Gorn episode. If you've watched Strange New Worlds, if not, you know, you won't know what I'm talking about. The Gorn episode and the Balance of Terror remake. 'Cause that's really what it was. The Balance of Terror remake bothers me in a lot of ways, just because I feel like they could have done something original with it. And it also damages the timeline in certain ways. I would also like to state, because I am that dork, that Nurse Chapel's interactions with T'Pring really bother me, from the aspect of if you know classic series, you understand where I'm going with this. And it's just a line, or a series of lines, in the original Amok time, which I want to say was like season 2, might have been episode 1. Might have been like the season opener for season 2, the original series. The famous one where Spock goes to his wedding and T'Pring chooses Calafi and makes Spock, she appoints Kirk her champion so that Kirk and Spock have to fight. But my problem here is the opening scene on the bridge T'Pring has made. Or not the opening scene, but T'Pring has made contact with the Enterprise. You know, and it's the whole Spock, always parted, never parted, you know. They're talking, Spock on the Enterprise bridge, and T'Pring and Nurse Chapel's there. And Nurse Chapel's like, you know, she's lovely, who is she? You know, and there's that big reveal of, she is my wife. That all goes away. You know what I mean? That all goes away because of the Strange New Worlds interactions. Because of course Chapel knows who T'Pring is because they've interacted. She knows their relationship. So it's like you just pretty much obliterated and made that scene null and void. She's lovely, Mr. Spock. Who is she? You know, it's like you talked to her quite a few times. You not only know who she is, you know what she is, and you may be hot for Spock, but you already know all this stuff. Contradiction writer issue in that one where it just bugs me. Sorry. Or if you're a Canadian viewer, sorry. Cosmopolitan, I try and, you know, translate where I can. Anyway, this is me when I just get up. Yeah, the Balance of Terror remake is a little too remakey. You know, Ortega's having the big, like, racist Romulan Vulcan thing going on. There's so much. Watch Balance of Terror from the original series, and then one of the last episodes of season 1 of Strange New Worlds. Might be the last episode, I forget. But yeah, watch that. Watch them back to back, and it's kind of shameless. The Gorn episode is fun, but could you do a more blatant remake of Aliens in the Star Trek world? I don't think you could. I don't think you could. And it does call into question Gorn physiology and all of that. I'm not sure how that works in comparison to what we saw in Arena. They kind of feel conflicty now. So, I love that you're doing new stuff with the Star Trek universe, but you're walking on some hallowed ground. I would also like to, again, with the whole, you're kind of damaging canon. In the Arena episode in the classic series, when they're discussing the possibilities that it is the Gorn, the Enterprise crew, Kirk, Spock, don't really have a working knowledge of who the Gorn are, what the Gorn are. It's just been whispering and legend and rumors. Well, you've nullified a lot of that too, because the former captain of the Enterprise has had several encounters now with the Gorn. Spock has a very, very good understanding of who the Gorn are. 10 years later, only whispering and rumor, legends. Well, no, you killed a couple. You know what I mean? It's like you're rewriting history. There's got to be a way to do this, and not completely contradict what will happen timeline-wise 10 years later. There's got to be a way to do it. I know they're taking liberties with, but, and yeah, I am that nerd. I admit that freely. But if we take the original series as kind of established history within the universe, you're stomping all over it. By itself, Strange New Worlds is maybe one of the best Star Trek series I've seen in a very long time, with the exception of the idea of you're poking canon in the eye. You really are. There have been a few episodes where I'm like, okay, this, there's 3 episodes in the original series that now have weird dialogue because of what you're trying to establish 10 years earlier in the timeline. Again, maybe just me. Maybe just me. I'm kind of weird. I know. Yeah. Uncanny-wise, though, Strange New Worlds is much like Discovery. Just, if Gene could have done that back in '66, Jeffries would have been thrilled. Anyway, try and get my head in the game. Because I may be having a confrontation with one utility or at least a HVAC provider of sorts, and the need to be very, very nice to another. This is a situation that's not the cable guy's fault at all. I don't know how quickly he can actually resolve it. And he may need to work around the septic guys if they're still wrapping it up. And when we went out there, you could see where they had set down one of the drain fields, which is just like a set of like 4 or 5, like they're the black rippled pipes with the holes in them, and then they put a like netting kind of thing over it. Just a big old series of those, and you can see the black wire with the fiber optic, and the other end of it like 4 feet away sticking out, and the piece in between laying on top of the pipes where they kind of cut and cut. It's like, hey, that's where there should be, it should just keep, that part should be here, connecting the the circuit. So this, no? Okay. No internet for Marcus. But because of where that is, now we may have two utilities conflicting, like arguing for space to try and work around each other too. So that could be a problem. Anyway, I'll let you know. Figure out some breakfast. Probably just gonna do some cereal. It's quick and easy. Yeah. I'm looking at the cereal that I have up top there going, I could do that. I could do that over that. Anyway. Jinx is considering moving the water bowl around the room. As he does. I'm going to wake up a little bit more. Make it a great day.